I thought this might be a good one to get you started to look at what you need to do when you're doing an online giveaway, because there are a little bit of rules around that and things that you need to think of before you start a giveaway online. So let's just have a look at why you might want to look at doing one in the first place. So first of all, awareness for your business. Of course, we all want to get that reach out there. We all want to have more people looking at our business and potentially talking about our business. So that's definitely one reason. Another one is if on social media you're looking to gain extra followers, and your audience, to grow that audience that you have on your social channels. Then we've got to gain that extra engagement. So perhaps you're looking at increasing that engagement, that interaction that you're getting on your page. You might be talking with your regulars, for instance, but you want to reach out and get some new audience, but you also want them to start engaging with you. So they might ask questions, or you might ask them a question, or whatever the case may be. So you might want to increase that. Then we've got, it's also a really good way of getting feedback. So, people might suggest things to you. You might ask a question as part of your online giveaway to say, what do you think about this? Or, where do you see us going here or there? Whatever the question is. So you can definitely do that with an online giveaway, and it gives you that ability to get that feedback in a way that maybe you haven't thought of before. Then, of course, we start to look at probably the higher objectives of why you'd like an online giveaway. So, for instance, you want to generate leads. So you want to actually grow your database so that you can start talking to the database more so through your newsletters, for instance, or you might pick up the phone and call them, or whatever the case may be. So this is another form of doing your online giveaway. And then, of course, lastly, you want to start generating some sales. So that's basically what we're doing, is you're raising the awareness to hopefully get the sales and to get the leads to grow and hopefully grow your business. So they're just some of the reasons why you might want an online giveaway, but then how do we go about it, or what do you need to actually make it happen? First of all, you need an objective. So what is it that you want to achieve? So before we set awareness, or if it's to generate leads, is it to get that the engagement going? Is it to get more traffic to your website? What is it that you actually want to actually do for your giveaway or for your business needs? So what is that objective? So it's really important. So don't just do a giveaway for the sake of a giveaway. You want to get something in return. So it's always a good idea to have that objective before you even start. Then, of course, this is where we start to get into it, and I see this issue quite a lot especially when it comes to putting your giveaway on social. There's two types of giveaways that you can potentially have. So there's one called a game of skill and one called a game of chance. Now, this is when you're dealing with, not with the likes of social media, but with the likes of the ACCC or the fair trading, or whoever it is that we have to adhere to in whichever state that you're in, or Queensland obviously, but they vary state to state. So this is a really good way to know how you need to proceed. So a game of skill is basically you're asking your audience to do something for you in return to getting into this competition or to enter this competition. So, for instance, the most popular one is give your answer in 25 words or less as to why you should win this prize or this giveaway. That's pretty much the most common one for the game of skill. Another one could just be simply asking a question. Another one could be enter your email to subscribe, anything like that. So there's always something they have to do in return. The game of chance is just that. So it's a lottery, or it's a, draw your name out of a hat. It's, it's a random winner. Now, both of these can potentially have issues around permits, for instance. So with a game of skill, when you're actually getting them to answer a question or provide 25 words or less or whatever it is, then it becomes not a random choice. It's something that you have to physically, either yourself as your business, or you might have a panel of people, or you might have a chosen outside source who actually select the winner based on the answer they've provided. So it's very different. So for those, you don't need a permit. There's no costs involved to actually do that, because you have to provide the selected winner based on the terms and conditions you provide. Whereas the game of chance, that one is random. So you're pulling someone's name out of a hat or a lottery bag or whatever the case may be. And that one, you potentially may need to go and look at having a permit. So this is where you need to go to the liquor and gaming part of the Queensland government's website, and you need to see which one of these you fall into and which one of those you might actually need to purchase a permit for. So the other thing that you need to consider, does this competition require you to go further than Queensland? So if you're going to go interstate, each state has their own games of skill and chance rules. So if you want to go outside of that, you will need to go and check every state. So bear that in mind when you're actually setting up your competition. Is it for Queensland or is it outside of that? So two very different things that are happening there. Once you've worked that out and you've chosen which path you'd like to go, now it needs to, how are you actually going to put it out there into the wide world? The best thing that you could possibly do is create a landing page for your website and have it sit on your website as a separate page. It doesn't have to be in the public. It could be what's called it's sort of sitting there, but it's not there for anybody to find. They have to be sent a URL to find it. They can't just come across it on your website. That's probably the best way. You can have it open if you wish, so anyone can come along and see it. That's fine. But the best way is to have it hidden so that people are directed to that page. And that's the only way they can get to it, is from the marketing that you might do behind it to actually push it. So here you'll need to go talk to your web developer. You'll need to, or yourself, if you are confident, to actually create a landing page in your website so that people are directed to this page. Because here you're going to collect information. So one, what's the answer, or what is it that they have to do for actually getting into the competition in the first place? And then it could be an email, a phone number, name, whatever it is that you want to collect on behalf of that competition. This is how you can set it up in a simple form setup so that people can go in there and complete it for you, okay? So from here, once you've spoken to them, and you've got your landing page set up, you've got it already, it's now time to implement it. So how are you going to do it? So is it going to be via your social media? Is it going to be via a blog, your newsletters that you might be doing? And are you going to put some paid marketing behind it? So ads. So if you're going to do an ad on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, whatever it is that you want to do, where and how are you going to put it out there? So really important that you have that set up as well before you launch it and it's all ready to go. Then, of course, you're going to need some form of data collection. So you're putting your competition out there. How are you going to get that information out? So you can have your website that collects the information for you via the form that you're setting up, or you might integrate a third-party platform, for instance, like MailChimp, where you collect the data and it just automatically drops into your into your audience, into MailChimp. Or you might use another third-party system altogether, for instance, that help you with loading competitions onto social as well as your website. So things like, there's Woobox, there's Offer, there's one called Offer, there's another one called Stackler, Stackler, and there's a few others that you can use that will help you actually not only get it out there to implement it, but also capture the data that you're actually looking at getting from your audience at the same time. So another step that you need to think about. And then, of course, lastly, or not lastly, but what is the actual giveaway that you're providing? So if you're an accommodation provider, is it a 1 night, 2 night? Is it, or if you're a local retail business, like for instance, a dress shop, are you giving away a few dresses within your shop, or whatever it is? What is your giveaway? And then what are those terms and conditions attached to that giveaway? Really important to do that, because otherwise, if you don't have those, it's not going to provide your audience with the information that they need to use your giveaway. So is there a blockout period if it's accommodation? Is there a use by date? So is it 12 months? Is it 6 months? Is it has to be, you have to do book and pay by a certain time, or whatever the case may be. So what are those terms and conditions? As well as those, you also have to think about, how do you announce the winner? So is it simply by email? Are you going to put it out on social? This one, for instance, this is with a tourism organisation in the Whitsundays, so Visit Whitsundays, and this is their Facebook page, you can see. So here they've actually got a competition, or not a competition as such, but it's a sign up to receive their newsletters. So it is sort of a competition, because you do win a merchandise pack with it. But you can see they've got here, here's how you do it. They've asked you to like their page. They've asked you to subscribe to their newsletter at the link below. And if I've already opened that link for you, so you can see, go straight to their website, and you can see there's a subscription area to fill out, and then they hit subscribe, and then in there they go into that monthly draw, which they actually do. So the other couple of things to note with social media, and especially with Facebook and Instagram, you must at all times, when you're doing a competition and putting it out here, you can see the last paragraph down the bottom. Please note, T's and C's apply. This competition is available to Australian residents only. You must be 18 years of age or older to enter. When winners will be notified via email. They're missing one really important point here, and this is what I see way too often with giveaways on Facebook in particular. You must also add in a line that states that Facebook has no correlation to this competition whatsoever, and that in no way do they endorse it. So it must be on there. It's part of their terms and conditions on Facebook. So I'll show you another one. See, Destination Gold Coast has got theirs as well, and you can win a holiday. Now, unfortunately, these guys haven't done it either. So it's very rare that I actually see someone who does it correctly by putting that line in with the Facebook, no mention of Facebook being endorsed. So if I show you again here, these are their guidelines, and this is their guidelines on their promotions for pages, groups, and events. And if you come down to the administration of the promotion and the required content, you can see here, acknowledgement of that the promotion is in no way sponsored, endorsed, administered by, or associated with Facebook. You have to do it. It's part of the guidelines of you using Facebook as part of your terms and agreement when you signed up, that you must put this release in. And as I said, I very rarely see it. Now, you're probably sitting there saying, well, what's the worst that could happen if I don't do that? Facebook has got to be notified, like everything else. It's got to be reported that you haven't done something right for them to know. There is no way they could actually monitor every post unless someone dobs it in, or unless their algorithms are doing it. And for the competitions, it's very rare that their algorithms are looking for this particular part in your compliance. So someone's got to tell them that you're not doing it right, which is, unless somebody doesn't like you or like your business, I would say that's probably a rare thing. But for my peace of mind, it's something that I will always do, because I know this is something Facebook wants you to do. Now, the other thing that you have to be really clear on is this administration part. Now, this is where I see a lot of businesses go wrong. You can see here, it says personal timelines and friend connections must not be used to administer promotions. So, for example, you can't say share on your timeline to enter. You can't say share on your friend's timeline to get additional entries. And you definitely can't say tag your friends in this post to enter. Now, unfortunately, I see that way too often, and people are not doing it correctly as per Facebook guidelines. So you have to be really, really careful, because all it takes is one person to say you're doing the wrong thing. And if you've got a large following, or not even if it's a large following, if you've got a great page of engagement with your audience and you might only have 1,000 followers, they will shut down your page, no questions asked. Make it work for you. Don't just do a competition because you thought, oh, it'd be a great idea to get some really great engagement. As I said, very low, minimal return for something that you should be getting a lot bigger on. So just a few little things there that I thought might help you. If you're wanting to do it, these are some of the things I would walk away with and consider. So what is your objective and what's your giveaway? So what is it about that you're trying to achieve with this particular giveaway? Talk to your website developer, or if you've got the confidence, you can do it yourself to create your landing page on your website. What are your terms and conditions? So be very clear what they are, so that if an audience member complains or gives you negative feedback about something, that your terms and conditions cover you for that. Obviously, then set it up, implement it, and then monitor it so that it's out there and just make sure that it's doing what it needs to do. Nothing is broken and it's all working to the way exactly how you want it to work. And then, of course, announce the winner and then follow up. So if you're getting a list of database emails, follow up with an email a couple of days later after you announce the winner and say, thank you so much for entering. You know, sorry that you didn't win. Obviously, say it a little bit nicer than that, but sorry you didn't win. However, you know, here's some deals, or here's something else that you might be interested in. So straight away, you're making a connection, and that you're then starting to interact with that audience that already has started with you before. So just some really quick tips and hints today about doing an online giveaway. So hopefully that gives everybody some really good information and to get you started on doing one. And don't forget, go and use those online resources that we've got for you. You just got to log into your dashboard and it's all there for you. So, but what we might do now is we'll go back to the questions. All right, so thank you very much, everybody. And if you're with me tomorrow, we're on Facebook tomorrow for beginners. So I'll see you there. If not, see you next time. Thank you. Bye.